Qatar has announced the end of its role as mediator between Israel and Hamas in hostage for ceasefire talks. Qatar also reportedly ordered Hamas officials to leave the country at the demand of the Biden administration. Qatari officials told reporters that they decided to evict Hamas due to its lack of willingness to reach a ceasefire for hostage deal with Israel. The Qataris say publicly they cannot continue mediating because neither side is willing to negotiate in good faith. And if there is no longer mediation, there is no reason to allow Hamas to remain in the country. No timetable has been given for when Hamas will leave Doha, but it's not expected to happen immediately. A Qatari diplomat also said that the decision can be reversed if the sides would display a willingness to negotiate in good faith. Talks succeeded to return some hostages in a week-long truce a year ago, but have failed to secure a permanent ceasefire for the release of the remaining 101 Israeli hostages, living and dead. Washington is reminding Jerusalem that the deadline is coming due for Israel to ensure adequate aid to Gaza or risk the supply of U.S. weaponry to Israel. Reports in the Israeli media say that some weapons deliveries have already been delayed. Last month, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin sent a letter to Israeli officials demanding concrete measures to address the worsening humanitarian situation. Austin praised the efforts of former Defense Minister Gallant, but told his successor, Israel Katz, that more effort was needed. Israel recently opened the Kisufim crossing to help dramatically increase the aid entering South Gaza and insists it's making extraordinary efforts to facilitate aid to Gazan civilians. Defense Minister Katz reportedly told his U.S. counterpart that Hamas has been stealing much of the aid entering the conclave. Some 2,000 Israeli soccer fans were flown home from Amsterdam this weekend on emergency flights following the violent, organized attacks on hundreds of fans after a soccer game on Thursday night between Maccabi Tel Aviv and Ajax. The fans arrived on 6 flights on Friday and another 2 on Saturday after precautions were taken by Dutch and Israeli authorities to get the soccer fans safely home. The Shabbat flights were allowed after permission was received from the chief rabbis. Normally, the Israeli national airline does not fly on the Sabbath. 5 Israelis were hospitalized with injuries and later discharged. 20 to 30 people were lightly injured in attacks by mobs of mostly young Moroccan second-generation immigrants. The attackers were organized in gangs on scooters, seeking out Israelis to assault outside their hotels and in major tourist centers in the city. 62 people had been arrested, but most were later released. This news flash has been brought to you by Blessed by Israel.
Experience the power of truth with ILTV News. If you're looking for quality content and captivating visuals, join our news community and become an integral part of our team as we embark on a mission to unveil the real Israel, dismantling the web of lies and misinformation that surround reporting on Israel. By subscribing to ILTV News, you will not only have access to the latest updates, but you will also amplify our message, creating a ripple effect that carries the truth far and wide. Subscribe today and help reshape the narrative. Available on the web, Android, and Apple.